So Man City are looking really, really poor this season. This weekend, they suffered their fifth loss in a row with Pep Guardiola, a record that he's never managed in his managerial career. Now, I'm going to discuss whether they are potentially out of the Premier League race already, how Rodri's injury is affecting them a lot, let's just say that, and the fact that an aging squad just isn't up to what Pep needs. Talking about that age thing, Gundogan is 34, Walker's 34, De Bruyne 33, Kovacic 30, Stones 30. I didn't realise that he was 30. Bernardo's 30. Kovacic, he's the one who's replacing Rodri in that DM, and it's really, really not working. Now, for a Pep team to work, you need a lot of energy, and more importantly, that DM role, it's the most important role because it cuts out counter-attacks. Pep this season has been playing a 3-1-6 formation. Often it's been Walker or Rico Lewis pushing into the final third with the attackers. And then it's been Vardiol, the left-back, in centre-back. When you've got that one in midfield, that one pivot with every player either behind or in front of him, not really, doubling up with him, it's very difficult. And Kovacic is not even a world-class pivot. This is poor squad building on Pep's half, okay? Because in the summer, he had the opportunity to go out and get another player. He got rid of Calvin Phillips. Now, I'm not saying that Calvin Phillips is anywhere near Rodri's quality, but he's at least, a natural defensive midfielder. Now they're at a point where their main midfielders are Kovacic, De Bruyne, Nunes, Bernardo, Foden, Gundogan. None of them are DMs. They're all either box-to-box players or they're playmakers. And this causes a big issue because Rodri is out for the season with an ACL injury. Is that partly because of Pep's reliance on him in the past? Very possibly. But Man City have so much money. Why hasn't Pep been able to go out and sign him? He's got an embarrassment of riches with centre mids. They've got loads of centre backs. They've got Stones, Akanji, Diaz, Ake, Vardiol can play there, Walker can play there. I've almost definitely missed somebody. They're that young lad who played in the Champions League who doesn't look too bad. So they're currently 8 points behind Liverpool now in the Premier League table. Liverpool have won 10, drawn 1, lost 1. City won 7, drawn 2 and lost 3. Now the record that City have got, still pretty decent, let's be honest. But compared to this point of last season, it's a whole lot worse. Plus last season, instead of having Liverpool to challenge, they had Arsenal. Arsenal have bottom jobs. You're going to win the Premier League anyway. Arne Slot's Liverpool already look like the biggest title contender. And compared to last season with Jurgen Klopp, where it was very much underdog, it was very much this is a new build squad, don't expect them to challenge too far up the league, and they didn't. Arne Slot has basically took the same group of players. They've signed Chiesa to upgrade that squad, and he's not played. So the same squad that Klopp had last season with an extra year of team building, with new tactics with Arne Slot potentially suiting the players better. 8-point lead, 12 games into the season. We're a third of the way through the season. It's crazy. And if Liverpool carry on this form and City keep struggling to replace Rodri, then there's going to be a big issue. Now, I want to touch on Pep's time in the Bundesliga. In the Bundesliga, teams were very, very good at counter-attacking. So what did Pep do? He deployed 2 CDMs and made sure to bolster his midfield. It was a 2-3 formation. So teams, when they tried to counter, they'd have a shield of 3 to get past, and then a shield of 2, and then Manuel Neuer. With City, it's a 3-1. He's lost 2 players in that build. He's lost a player in that build-up phase. Even if he played a 3-2, they'd be so much stronger. Because Kovacic, as I say, if Kovacic had Gundogan next to him, or if Kovacic had Rico Lewis at CDM next to him, yes, they'd lose a bit of firepower up front. But they've got world-class players. They've got Foden, they've got Doku, they've got Savinho, Haaland. How many goals did Haaland get last season? A ridiculous amount. So I feel like Pep is maybe sticking to his principles and his ethos a bit too much, and he's stubbornly not wanting to change. 5 losses in a row. And the thing is, when they tried to defend a counter-attack, just look at this weekend. Gvardiol got bullied by Kulusevski when Spurs just played a bit of a hit and hope ball upfield. I think it was Dragusin. He just played it to the right wing, and Kulusevski had about 5 yards to gain on Gvardiol, and Gvardiol got to the ball first. Simple shoulder barge, and then Maddison makes a lung-busting run into the middle of the box to get Spurs that goal. And all of the goals against Spurs were very weak. I'm not saying that they could have all been prevented, because Postecoglou has built quite a decent squad, especially against big squads, the better teams, and it's never an easy game against Spurs. But there is also a knock-on effect of losing Rodri, because other players are probably being a bit more conservative in the way that they act. the defenders are probably thinking, we've not got Rodri here. They're probably feeling a bit more pressure, let's be honest. On a psychological level, if you know that your best player, Ballon d'Or winning player, Rodri, isn't playing, you've got Kovacic there, who everybody knows that, you know, his best footballing career has been as a centre mid, not as a pivot. And then you have to play that player. There's going to be a part of the players' minds who are thinking, you know, we're just not as strong here. They're going to be a bit more worried about that counter-attack. They're going to be a bit more worried about Kovacic's lack of passing, not necessarily accuracy, but lack of passing depth in the way that Rodri would be able to just play a long pinger to the left wing like that. Kovacic doesn't have that ability. So I really think that Pep needs to improve things quickly. Liverpool don't look like they're going to be stopping their run anytime soon. Arsenal are on the rise. They're slowly getting their tactics together. Players like Ødegaard are coming back from injury, and their squad is looking significantly stronger all of a sudden. Just look at their lineup this weekend. They also signed Moreno in the summer. They also signed Calafiori in the summer. I've probably missed somebody as well. Timber's back from injury. He's basically like a new signing. So those two teams there are on the ascendancy. Liverpool are already 8 points clear. Can Man City recover it? We all know that Pep likes to go on these insanely good second half of the season runs. And we all know that Liverpool under Slot definitely have a bit of a weak underbelly looking at last season. So let me know in the comments, is it as bad as it looks at Man City? 5 losses in a row? It might be. I think Liverpool might win the league this year. Just putting it out there nice and early. It's quite an easy statement to make when they're 8 points clear of the table. But yeah, down in the comments, please. Subscribe to the channel whilst you're here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.